So it's just after 5 on Wednesday. Today's payday. And so I already have been doing my stuff, which I ordered this little travel. It's this little tiny, it's got a little tiny light, a little tiny thing that holds your phone. So I'll be able to do some recording there. I'm not going to do real long ones. Probably, I doubt. I don't know. We'll just see what the vibe is. You know, man, I know I cannot be the only one just going through it. Like, fuck, man. This reality is so fucking weird. Like, fuck, man. It's weird. It's like people are so driven by their impulses and stuff. All of a sudden, I saw somebody as a child of just like, no, I want it this way, you know, kind of like that. And it was just like such an expansion of like, oh, wow, yeah. It's like, it's weird how we let all these other people who are in their childlike state, because being on autopilot is childish. Like, I can't be the only one seeing this. The childlike parts of people that are coming out. I mean, it's got to be all for them to see, but the broken, the damaged parts of people that they don't want to face is like, it's like your wounds are on the outside of you at this point. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Because this society is so built on the artificial, what it looks like on the outside. But it's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, I just saw, it's like, because everything's micro, macro, but I just saw that, like, reality flipping in on itself. What's on the inside comes out, and what's on the outside comes in. Oh, that makes so much sense. Because, like, the parts that they show the world that they don't want to see, but when all this flips, because in this shallow world where everything is phony, like people look at somebody and they think, oh, they look good, so then they think, oh, they're a good person because they look good. Oh, that person's not attractive, or too fat, or too thin, or too this, or too that, so they're not attractive. So they're not as good a person as that person. It's like, that is what our world was like. Like, even if people don't want to realize it, like, realize it. Because, yeah, it was so fucking shallow. Sometimes I would just be blown away by how shallow. And maybe I was just surrounded by a lot of really shallow people. I don't know. It's all by perspective. I definitely, it was a part of my challenges as a being, because it was the opposite of me, because I was deep, so I was odd. And the people who were shallow, they all fit in together. But you kept being an odd man out if you were deeper. If you're like, look at the underneath, look at this, look at that. And it's like, what? Shut up, weirdo. And so people are real comfortable with just staying here. Well, I don't understand it. So I can't wrap my head around it. I can't, like, and I know it's got to be a part of my challenge is learning to not judge it, to learning to accept it, especially when you can see things that other people can't see. It's like, okay, so let go, let go, let's let it go. And it's like, oh God, it's like, oh, grrr. It's like, oh, it's what a fucking challenge, dude. This is challenging times, I'm telling you. I'm challenging on so many levels. I was like, fuck. So anyways, so the artificial side, oh yeah, ooh, it's kind of like, this, yeah. Oh gosh, the images are about, like, it goes so fast, but they're good. It's like, yeah, it's like total confirmation, man. It is like oh yeah, it is like the, by all of it. Okay, so think about like a fairy tale queen. I don't know, maybe there was one fairy tale queen, like, kind of like Sleeping Beauty or something, and that is very superficial or something with this beauty on the outside, but then when when only you can fool it somehow, but then when it tips out and the outside comes out is the reference, then you see this like warty, decrepit, that is what's happening. That's what's happening. People are showing what's on the inside is coming to the outside. But that is also showing us we're closer to this flipping, because that is, part of the process. Because everything is in this motion. And one thing, too, I just was hearing this guy who was talking. So I don't know, because I would not classify myself in any particular group anymore. Like back when I very first started on my journey to move outside of the church and all of that, because that's basically cutting yourself free from society at that time. And so when I started doing that, let me think, because I just got lost for a second, or just scattered. I gotta pull it back in. Okay, so when I pulled free from that, so when I pulled free from that, there was like a necessity or something to anchor in on, to try and figure out, like, what am I? I'm not like everybody else. What am I? Where am I? Who's like me? And luckily, Shirley MacLaine, she was out there waving her freak flag. I was like, oh, out there, that's my people. And then there was more, but it was like, and she was just getting ram-basted. She was getting roasted all the time. How crazy she was. So, but she was on the front of the lines. And, but the words that were going around to those of us who were in that movement, and the movement at the time was that the world is different than what we think. That we're all, the aliens, everything is a soul, and that your soul goes over and over and over. It doesn't die. There's a lot of concepts and stuff from back then, and it was called New Age. So they were like New Age. And when you watch some old movies, you'll see them reference like the New Age weirdos, and they would always make fun of people. Even in a movie I was watching the other day, it seemed like it was the guy from Hawaii Five-O. And but it was a movie. But maybe it was a movie of the week or something. I don't know. It was old. But in one part they were like, yeah, he's one of those weirdos. They sit around meditating, going to metaphysical worlds and stuff like that. So making fun of it. And this movie was, I think, 80s, could have been the 70s. I don't know. But anyways, it moved. Yeah, it had to be the 80s. It was around the early 80s when I think Shirley MacLaine started. But I think my thing started with, so hard, because when you try and look at the pieces, they don't, like, it's so hard to put the time period. It just is like it happened all around the same time, and I don't remember which domino hit which domino, but it seems that mine started with near-death experiences. Like, that was reading those, but that could have been somewhat later. But it seems like that was my drive, too. Because I'd already, didn't believe in what they were pushing at the church. I couldn't figure out that shit. And my guidance, or my family outside of this world, or whatever, the ones that were speaking to me were always telling me that the stuff that I was being told was wrong, don't listen to that, and they would tell me other things. That's how I started finding out we were being watched, and this was a lab, this was like we were a science project. So I knew that, but you try and tell people that, like when you're okay, go back to sleep, weirdo. So I was, when I had my first child, that's when I was like, I mean, my first trauma was my grandpa dying. And I think I was like about 7 or something, which is so weird when you think of your grandpa as one thing for all those years. Then all of a sudden it's like, because I thought he was a farmer all that time. Oh no, he was a sax player, then he was a machinist, and it's like, what? What? That's so weird. But anyways, I loved him. And he was very Gregory Peck, from To Kill a Mockingbird kind of guy. I just thought he was the coolest. And he was huge. He was a bigger than life kind of person. He was a giant. And he was gone overnight. And I was devastated. And especially because my parents were kids. And so, I don't know, he was older. And so anyways, I don't know. He was like the, the, the sanity and the stability. But then you see in this game, to be destabilized is important. Oh man, that's emotional. Fuck. My whole face is getting all that. Yeah, there's so many destabilizing things that happen to us, but that's part of the game. That's part of what we're here to do, is be destabilized, to challenge ourselves, to grow. So anyways, he left, and I was traumatized. But then, and then I was just really curious all the time, like, well, what is death? Well, where do you go? What happens? And all that stuff. Like, I became very consumed with it for a while when I was a kid. I remember it totally freaked me out. And it was so sudden. It was like, oh my God, are my parents gonna suddenly die? Oh my God, what's gonna happen? What do you got? Like, it was just like freaky. And so that just put me into a whirlwind for a while. But anyways, when I got to be older, and I wasn't on birth control, so it wasn't like I was planning a pregnancy, but I thought I was not. I thought I was sterile because I had a whole bunch of issues, and so I thought I couldn't have kids, and so I didn't ever think anything about it. And then I went, because my period was all a mess. I had tons of sick. It was just a wreck. I was a wreck in that thing. But that is a person. My body was telling me where I needed to focus. I was coming from this very sexually abusive, sexual predator kind of world, and I was dysfunctional. Like, it was showing me where I needed to focus my energy. But we're not taught that. We're just taught to get out there and survive, get out there and make it, get a good job. So I just went on my journey. And but so, and it was during the time with Dickie and stuff, and I was madly in love with him. He wasn't giving me what I needed. This other guy swooped in. It's so weird when you see it from the other angles. So he swoops in with his poems and dedication. And I'm like, oh, well, this one likes me, so I'll go this way. Stupid. So I went that way. And then I was locked in. I was locked into my lessons. I wanted to escape them a bunch of times, but the universe kept locking me in more, and I got pregnant. And then I was, well, now you got yourself in a fucking mess. And so then, but once I had her, that is when this death thing really kicked into me. It was like, fuck, man. What if something happened to her? Where's she gonna go? What's gonna happen? And so I became very focused on that. That's when I started reading near-death experiences with Dr. Moody. He was a doctor he was having all of these kids and adults that were coming and saying these experiences that had happened to them when they had died, and they were all similar. And so he was like, man, people need to know this shit, man. So he started documenting it. Well, he got to be out there on the fringes with me and Shirley and all the other weirdos back then, the New Agers. So we were considered this New Age movement. And then it got overshadowed and made fun of so much, like there's the programming and indoctrination and stuff. So then, but those of us who were already on our spiritual journey weren't going back. It's like we just went into our shell and did our thing, and went on our journeys. And through the journey, though, you look at life very differently than the people around you when you are on a spiritual journey. And that is like weird, man. how people approach it and how they look at it and how they think about it, and revenge and all this stuff. And so it was like, fuck people over, nobody's looking. I was like, what? It's just like, what? This is so weird, man. And then you try and tell them, and they're like, oh, shut up, weirdo. Get the fuck out of here. And it's like, oh, what? So, anyways, now we've moved forward, and then the awakening began to occur. And so it kind of like splintered out in a lot of different directions. And so the New Age movement became radicalized or something. The super spirits, they're above everybody else. The chosen saviors of the world. It's so weird. Like, God's just sitting there. Like, there's just the whole concept of God. There's this one God, and He's out there. And you're chosen. Well, you're pretty good too. I'll choose you. You over there? Yeah, you're a good one. Yeah, I choose you. Get over here. You're on my team. It's like, what the fuck? This is so weird. Like, some of this shit is so weird. It's like anti-spiritual. But you're putting it into this, like, spiritual concept. It's like, no, there's like, the hierarchy dissolves when you get into the higher mind, the spirituality, when you connect with everything and everything's the same as you. So, and the journeys are all just pace. It's just the movement. It's just the energy moving. And so, anyways, so you have that. And then there's the, I don't know what, the quantum, I don't know if they're lumped in with the metaphysical, but then there's the historian people, bringing in all of this stuff. Like, I didn't know about Gnostics. I didn't know, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that. And, because I didn't keep, like, engulfing information about it. I just went on my journey. I was just being led by my spirit through life. I just had reached that point of, like, I just was going at it through what was internal instead of what was external. And I was confused by what I saw as the ignorance behind the external. It's like, what? There's just so much stuff that I just thought was so weird. And then, so then, now, whatever, with the metaphysical, so anyways, there's just a lot of different things about the spiritual thing. And I don't know all the stuff. And I didn't know about crystals. I didn't know about yoga. I didn't know about fucking, what was it? I didn't even know fucking about chi and shit. I mean, to me, when you're connected to your spirit, like, what I started finding is, like, my spirit would lead me to do something, and I would just start doing it. And then later I would see something about, like, chi and movement and all this stuff, and I'd be like, oh, see, my soul knew to do that. So I just follow, like, what, I mean, and to some people it'd be like, oh, what the hell is that weirdo doing? It's like, I don't know, my soul told me to get up and do this, so I'm doing it. And but some people, it's just like, who told you? Okay, crazy. You hear people talking in your head? Okay, crazy. And so that is, I mean, it was just being seen a different way. But anyways, there's a lot of things, like, I didn't know or about some shit. Reiki and a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I've been learning as this has all been unfolding. And so, all different people bring all sorts of information. But but the different groups, like, I don't know what all of their, like, mission statement is, or where they're at, or whatever. I definitely, with the Love and Light crew, I was like, I mean, you shouldn't be turning and burying your head. What creates change? Looking at it and going in a different direction. To bury your head and to pretend like nothing's going on, that's, and then to tell other people, like, oh, that's low vibration. which low vibration is not facing yourself. Sorry, dude, that's the low vibration. So go bury your head some more. And so, anyways, there's definitely things what I would hear some of their philosophies that make just like the quantum jumping thing. Just jump out. You don't like where you're at, you just jump into where you want to be. Jump into your best life. And there's no work to it. There's nothing. You don't have to do anything. And so that to me, it was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Because what are you doing here then? If you're not here to develop or gain knowledge or something, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, this is where you just want to hang? Like, what? Because you can go into heavens and jump around wherever the fuck you want. But like I said, I mean, this may be new information. It's all this movement because we're going into heaven on earth. We're going into the heavens. So it's, maybe that's going to be our thing. We're going to move out of all of this labor-intensive experience and move into the good stuff. We're just going to zip around and enjoy life. And so I'm in for that. This is tedious, man. This is fucking tedious. And then, but I just saw this guy who, so I don't know. He was saying things like, I don't know. When I explain things, I explain them different. So he was talking about the Akashic records in the mind of Sophia and shit like that. And so when I was hearing him, I was like, okay, so the Akashic records is what I call the universal mind. So where I say you can access all of the, it's like you go into Grand Central Station of the universe or something. It's like the communication hotline area to me. And it's like you can access into there, and then you have access to certain knowledges or something. Like I said, when I was making like my deck, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just listening in my head what I was being told. And there was certain things I would be doing it, and all of a sudden I would feel like I was this old, like, the only thing I could perceive it as is like this old Amish man, this old Western man who knew how to do this stuff. And he would be doing it, only it would be me. I would be doing it, like if you saw the person out there doing it, but to me, it wasn't me, it was this other person who it could have been an aspect of me, but it could have been, I tapped in, I was allowing that. I don't know how it all works. I just know that you have access to this other information. If it's through your own self or it's through the connection to others or however it works, I don't know for sure. I just know that there's a place that you can go and you can find shit out. And I call it the universal mind. But to me, when I was hearing him talk, I was like, oh, well, they call it, like, I think the Akashic records. And so anyways, this guy, he was I don't know if he was an author or scientist or something. He was during Tesla's time. And so he went into a coma for 39 days. And when he came out of it, he said he knew all of the mysteries of the world. He understood the universe on a whole new level. And he was talking about the places he went and stuff. He wrote a book. He started sending it out, and nobody would do his book. And then he sent it to Tesla, and Tesla wanted to talk to him. So he sent it out to tons and tons of people, but they were all like, no way, this is too fucking weird. And so he went, and Tesla wanted to meet with him. He talked to him, and Tesla said, yeah, this stuff is all right and shit, but you gotta not tell people. They're not ready for this. You gotta bury this shit for 1,000 years. They're not gonna understand what the fuck you're talking about. And so, whatever, the stuff's coming out now of the stuff he said, and it's all the stuff I say. It's stuff that a lot of people are saying. It's like he was saying it decades ago, or what his experience was. And so, anyways, this guy was talking about it, and to me it was giving a bunch of confirmation and stuff. And he had said something about energy, and I've been so heavily triggered the past couple days. It's insane, man. It's so crazy how heavy duty these triggers are, because it's like so much of it is like, why is this bothering me? What is my trigger? Just let it go. What the fuck? Why do I care? And it's like all the energy is so intense, though. Everything is so intense. It's like, fuck, man. It's so crazy. And then you're going and spinning through the dance floor with all these people who, uh, which reminds me of, there's this song I like. It's called Love Me Again. And that I was watching the video the other day. And those that video was, I think it was filmed at that dance hall I was talking about. I think it's called Birmingham Ballroom Juke Joint. No, I don't know, something like that. And but the footage I've seen, it's like if you were wanted to visualize it, visualize like Charlie Brown. Remember when, I think it's Linus is playing the piano and they have that weird song going or whatever, and they're all out there doing their own little weird dances? That is what this place is like. I love it. And so in that video, it is, those people are the ones dancing. They're singing at this place, and people are dancing. The same people that are all there. I don't know what this place is like, but I want to go. And but I was watching this documentary of Led Zeppelin, which I don't know. I don't know. I think they could have. I don't know. It just depends on what your perspective is. Whatever. But anyway, so I was watching this documentary of Led Zeppelin, and there was a lot of just having them play a song, and so a lot of documentaries just them on a stage playing a song for like 10 minutes. And this one was like, it's not so much like, it had some good information. It had a lot of stuff like, oh, I didn't know that. Because they really did just like come together, didn't even know each other barely, and were famous within a couple weeks. And so it was like some interesting stuff. And, but there's this one scene though where they're playing, and the people in the audience look exactly like that. Like, it's like this time jump, but they dance exactly the same, and I was like, oh yeah. And so, anyways, this Birmingham ballroom dance thing, and just came to my mind, and I don't even know why, but energy and how energy moves and stuff. And then my triggering though is just like seeing these like things and the way people, and it's like, what? And then to try and move it out of the judgment of like, what, into just like, meh, whatever. Like, it's some work. It's some work. Yeah, I don't know about this quantum jump. I just want to jump from there to there. Yeah, I'd like that. I'd like to just go from this to that. That'd be swell. But, somehow I gotta work myself through it and be like, why is this bothering me? And how the fuck do I move over there? And so I've been working on that. It's challenging. And especially, you just see people for this other side of themselves that they don't see. It's like, oh my God. And the lower chakra is very childish. It's very childlike, super defensive and toxic, rebellious, angry, bitter. It's got a lot of bad tendencies in the lower chakra. That's why it's just super reactive. It doesn't grow, it just reacts to life. And so the beings that are in this lower chakra period in this time are very reactive, very childish, very tantrumy, very follow the rules, and I don't know. It's like this weird hypocrisy, double stand. I don't know. It's twisted my fucking brain, man. I'm so fucking twisted up right now. And it's exhausting. And I feel so much like in that Bible story too of I think of this one, and I don't know all these Bible stories, and I just know like clips and snippets, so I could be totally off on this, but I swear to God, there's this thing about Job, and I don't know if God came down and said, hey, shit's gonna get good here pretty soon, and so everything was going bad, and Job's like, okay, well, I need some good stuff because everything's going bad, my whole family's dead or something. I don't remember what it was, but part I remember is he kept waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for the good stuff to the point where it wasn't coming, and he's like falling to his knees. God, why have you forsaken me? You said good stuff was going to happen. But to me, is like, because it's like the universe pushes you to the fucking brink. It pushes you to your breaking point. Like, that's a part of this game or something. Push you to your fucking breaking point so that you break down, break away, break free, break out. It's like change occurs. But it's like, hell, man. It's like, fuck, dude. So, anyways, I feel like that drop into your knees kind of thing lately of like, why? Why have you forsaken me, God? And it's just like, oh. So, anyways, that is, it's just like everything feels kind of tedious right now. And now the scientists are putting out a date of June 5th. They've marked it. Is it because that's the day they're going to do it to us? I don't fucking know, man. But we'll have to see. We'll have to just go and see what happens. But, and it blows my mind. Or people are just like, oh, well, maybe it'll happen. I wouldn't listen to the scientists. But listen to the people on the news. It's like, my fucking head is spinning now. So, Jesus fuck. So whatever. When this fucking shit goes, shit's gonna go crazy. So we gotta be getting close. So thank God. It's like whatever's gonna go, fucking let's go. It's like whatever's gonna happen, like fucking bring it on. It's like it's so fucking tedious at this point. And so anyways, whatever is gonna go, it's gotta be getting closer. And so the scientists are saying June 5th, that's the day. Mark it on the calendar. That's the day shit's gonna go crazy. So we'll see. The other day, I think it was the 27th. I don't know. I figure any time from next week to the next week, because they said within a couple weeks. So we're on the brink. And I remember being in California, and them, oh, they've said this for 100 years now. We're gonna have this big earthquake. They've been wrong for 100 years. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's like the same thing as like, oh, I never have a wreck. You never had a wreck. So does that mean you never will? It's like, what? Oh, Lord, have mercy on my soul. Oh, I've been saying that so much lately. I'm constantly, Lord, have mercy on my soul. Mercy, mercy, mercy. Oh, this is so intense. It's like you just want to run around. Man, you're stupid. You're stupid. You're so stupid. It's like, but calm down. You can't go to that level. You can't go to the immature. You see what I mean? It's like, fuck, man. Fuck. It's like, reel it in. Okay, calm down. Go into your breathing. Go into your calm mind. And get your shit together. And so it's like, it's a constant, just back and forth. Another thing too, is I realized, it just all of a sudden popped into my mind was, so that guy was talking about energy, and energy forms in the light that creates the illusion, and all of the movement of the crystalline energy or whatever is what creates the visualization, and that is all on your frequency and stuff. There's just so many things that I see that I don't know how to explain. But everything is an evaporation of everything else, and it's an extension of everything. Everything is the bleed out of this. It all goes out. It's all this micro macro. It all has this waveform, this way of moving. And the world is moving. Like I said, we have a lot of waveforms that are going where it creates the chaos, where we have all of these storm systems, because everything is micro macro, and everybody has this storm system inside of them. And so it's all goes together. And, but anyways, on the energy thing, because, in my mind, there's certain things I keep like questioning and questioning, and all of a sudden noticing. It's like, yeah, if you pile stuff everywhere, you put it like on every counter, in every chair, except for the one you sit in, everywhere has got things piled on it. It's very unwelcoming. It's very unwelcoming. And so, and to the person, it may feel like, oh, this is home sweet home, bitch. But to anyone else, it's like, well, you don't really belong here. You could be here for a couple minutes, stand here, and it's very, but there's an energy to that, this energy of this unwelcoming, this, I don't know. And it's weird because it's just like so many of these things. It's just like it's like transforming. It's like the unfolding. You see this, it gives you a certain feeling at some point, but then all of a sudden you see this, it's like, oh, wow, that is. And I was seeing it as like the stagnation of energy and the feng shui and stuff, and how important the feng shui is, and how important like open space and energy movement. And then I was so excited because the other night when I was up in the middle of the night, I don't remember if I talked about this before, but so here there's a 3-car garage, and so this one is a bunch of stuff, and this one is where her car was. So that's pulled out, and that's where my little slot is. So my tent and dog bed, this rug, dog bed, and chair, and then the TV. So I've got this little. It's funny because when I lived in the cabin, I was say all the time, like I live in like 50 square foot. Well, it's basically like that again. And so it's like this little area, and this is but I can go outside, I can go do things. But, so this is the living space that I feel like I require or something, but I need other spaces. Like over here, I have a bunch of stuff set up with this mirror and stuff. Over here is another little area where I have stuff set up to feed the dogs and have my food, and the water and stuff is all right there. And then there's another little place right along this side where I have a bunch of my clothes. It's all lined up and stacked and shit. And it's such a partial amount of clothes. I got so much clothes. And I'm really, in my fantasy house, I definitely have a dressing room. Not a closet. Walk-in closet, nah, I got a dressing room. And then back at the back is where I have all my stuff. And it's so funny too, is because when I got the tent, it was like, well, if I'm not gonna be paying my house, I could end up living on the street, so I better get a tent. If shit goes down and we are all on the move, escaping evacuation from storms and shit, better have a tent. So I just kept being like, I better get a tent. And so it's funny, I know I'm living in this tent. And then it was the same thing with these little things, but I also had more motivation from the universe, because when I refused the smart meter and everything stopped working, that's when I got the toaster oven, started using I got a bread maker, and the Instant Pot. I started using some of this stuff more. And so now I look at it as like, fuck, all you need is a fucking Instant Pot. A little, one of those, like, you can plug it in burner. You don't need a whole fucking stove. I don't know why we thought, like, we need all this shit that they tell us. You just need, I've got a double burner one, I've got 2, and it was at my house when I moved in the house, because that guy didn't come and get his stuff until a week after I was living there. It's weird. So many weird things all the time. So I, the bread maker, the little stove thing, the little toaster oven, and an Instapot. I swear to God, all you need is like a fucking counter with some shit on it. We don't need like I don't know. I could use a bigger dressing room and a smaller kitchen. That's what I'm thinking. And but more outdoor space, more social space. It doesn't mean like I wouldn't want to socialize, because a lot of times there was a period of time where the kitchen became central to socializing. Every party I ever had, everybody just hung out in the kitchen all the time. So there was a point where, you kind of needed a nice big kitchen, but because it was like where everybody went. But And so a kitchen, you know, like a party kitchen, a social kitchen, or whatever, something like that. But I definitely don't think, you know, we double ovens, giant this, giant, like all this shit. I think we overdo it. We were sold a story. It was like, oh, this makes me feel good. So, anyways, and then in this other garage thing, so over there is where she has those ginormous things from Home Depot, these big rack things, giant. And so those take up a portion of the garage, and it's got a bunch of stuff piled on it. They're stacked on, you know, it's like the shelves all nails and stuff. And so weird too how somebody can say something and it just reminds you so much of somebody else saying something. It's like, uh, I don't know. Shit is so weird right now. So, anyways, so those big rocks. So, anyways, back here though, this is where there was wood. So, and that's where I had stacked it before. She wanted this wood stacked here so she'd be able to get to it. So when I get, I don't know what all was there before. Like I didn't pay that much attention to her garage really before until I started living in it. But this was a big, there was some pallets and some wood and stuff, and it was way out. And she told me the other day, it's because when the builders were here, they had it out in the middle so they could access it all. And so it was just left there. And so it was way out. So when she had filled in the back space, she had like there's so many things that are just like, if you are having stuff that you don't need or don't use, I call it hoarding. So, but anyways, so this, the broken rototiller thing and another thing. So once those were moved out for going out to the garden thing, then it was like there's a big space there. It's like, well, I guess put these other things back there, these crates and stuff of other shit that's piled up. But then the other night I was up in the middle of the night, I was looking at it, I was like, you know what would be smart? If we're gonna take every fucking thing off of there and scoot it all back to be behind her wood so she had support behind the wood. So if these are pallets, scoot them back so there's a brace to the wood, because that was wonky when I was doing it. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna do that. So I took everything out and moved it all back. And so it went and it scooted all that back, which shifting all that backwards like that opened up like about 4 foot more. So there's this huge open space now. It feels so good. Oh my God. I swear to God, when things are closed in and then all of a sudden there's an open, it's like, oh, God, that feels good. That feels so good. It feels so open. The energy feels so, alive. And so it was like, oh, God, it feels good. And see, I think in her mind, it's like, oh, she's trying to invade in my space. She's going to just pile up her stuff. She's going to take over my space. It's like, no, I like open space, man. This is fucking nice. So I can move around. And she's just been loving it, too. She's been going over there and laying out and stuff. Because everywhere, when we were here, she had to reverse it everywhere. Down the reverse everywhere. So now she's got like a whole turnaround. And all that stuff went back, and it's all piled neatly and organized, and just lids on the crates and everything. So it's all fucking. And I was like, man, I knew you wouldn't do this for yourself, so I did it. And I felt so happy and so proud of myself. Like, oh, look, this nice thing I did. It's all nice and organized, but it opened up so much space, and the relief of the space feels so good. And then in that video that guy was talking about with the feng shui and stuff, and the energy, and I was thinking, oh, I was like, oh my God, that is one of the things that makes me so uncomfortable. If I go into a room and there is no feng shui and it's just stifling and crammed and it's like it's intense. And you don't realize what it is until all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's the energy. The energy is like stuck and it's stifling and it's crammed and it's intense. And so it's just like it makes you see it different. And so all of a sudden I was just like, oh yes, it's the fucking feng shui, man. You gotta set your room up to have an energy movement. Like, and if you don't know about feng shui, and I knew about it That was one thing. I wasn't learning about Reiki and crystals and shit like that, but I was learning about Feng Shui and Eastern philosophies and stuff like that when I was on my metaphysical journey of spirituality. And so the way you set up your room and stuff, it makes a difference over how energy moves. And there's a thing about windows or mirrors and stuff and the reflection stuff. And I cannot believe, so many of these new movies that I have seen, even if I have only turned them on and then turned them off or watched a trailer or something, it was like there is such a thing, so much in the movies right now about like opening our minds to reality and realms and stuff like that. And that is what our world really is. Like, this is so weird. So weird. It's like we're in this tiny little thing and people think that this is all there is. It's like, no, there's stuff everywhere. It's all around and it's all interwoven. Like, that's where portals come in, because it's all interwoven and go through and be in other places. And without people having that awareness, I'm sure people slip in and out of portals all the time. And some of them you wouldn't be able to tell, but some is when you can tell, like, the energy changes, the sound changes. You can tell, you can feel like there's a difference in sound, there's a difference in how things look. And I think a lot of people are just like, oh, that's weird. Especially when you're out like in the forest and stuff like that. But anyways, there's all sorts of interweaving and interlocking of all these different realities. And they were all, at some point, going to merge. I mean, that's just the action. It's the movement. And that was another thing, too, that guy had said to Tesla, was the way the universe moves. And he said it's like this moving in and out, this breathing. And that's what I had said, this moving. And see, we we went out, we're coming back. Only when we come back, there's going to be a dramatic pulse. There's going to be this this flash, this thing that's going to happen. And that could be what the solar flash is. It's energy. It's this quick movement. And but there could be more of those. There may be some precursors, like there is to the earthquakes. There we're going to have some smaller ones to prepare us for the bigger one. But there is this dramatic, there's this shift, and the things go in and out and move back and forth, and they go around and around, and that is just the way it goes. That's why there's the universal laws. It's just the way it goes. And what you put out is going to come back to you. And it's so crazy. It's so weird how so many people have no awareness of what they're putting out. None at all. People cannot even recognize that hateful side of themselves and jumping on board and hate and division and stuff like that. It's like, just because this group is saying we've got all the answers, we know, and these two other ones are so stupid they don't see, that's division. It's like, you are just the same. So anyways, but the movement of how it goes, and so we are in this movement, so it's gone this way, and it isn't, even if you think of it as a swinging around, see, it's going to have a momentum, it swings back. And so however you want to follow the movement, if you want to follow it like that, if you want to follow it like that, it's however, it is all of these movements, though, are, that is like the sacred geometry or something, the spiral of life, the patterns that is created. It's this movement, this universal law, this movement of energy, and it has a set pace, it has a set destination, it has its set way of moving. And so that is the universal law of existence. It's going to do what it's going to do, and we are in this period of this time of change. And so this is where the pendulum swung one way, and it's going to swing back. It swung so far in the dark, which fed so much into people's darkness of their impulse, all this stuff I say all the time. And it just, people pursued a very dark side of themselves in there, or that uh, it was, yeah, it's kind of like there was like a hiding too. Like people could hide in the dark and then just put on a mask, put on a happy face, put on some makeup, put on some good clothes, and nobody knew what was inside of you. But that's what I'm saying is now the inside is coming on the outside. That's the part where people are going to all of a sudden feel humiliated, and about that Emperor's New Clothes moment thing, where all of a sudden it's like you're sitting there and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm naked. Everybody knows I'm naked. I wonder, yeah, the people who've had a lot of those tests or a lot of those dreams where, because I've heard a lot of people having these dreams of going to a testing thing. So you're going to a test, there's a time thing, and you're naked, and everybody else is dressed, and you're naked. Sometimes I think some of the people say everybody's naked, but I wonder if that is like a precursor where your communication is trying to get you to have awareness. Like this moment, this is coming for you. But you don't question it. You don't look at it. Don't think of it. So you don't grow out of it. You have to experience it because of your own ignorance or denial or not recognizing what your communication is. That's curious. See, that's the thing is like once this goes past and people are thinking on this other level, it's going to be so curious of the experiences and hearing them, of what it was like on one side and then what it was like on the other side. It's going to be very curious. And I don't know that I'd want to read 100 books about it, but I'd be curious, like when you're talking to somebody in them, to explain, like, yeah, it was like this, and then all of a sudden it was like this, and what it was like to go through that, like, because I don't know, on this side of it, it seems more gradual. It just seems like very gradual. And remember when all of a sudden, though, it was like all the pieces all of a sudden went together on my puzzle, and I was like, oh, and it felt so good. It was like, oh, I get it now. It all makes sense. I get it. But then you have to go through this tedious part of everybody else getting it. It's like, oh God, it just drags. And but there is so much baggage. People are just dragging baggage. How long have I been talking? Yeah, people have just got so much stuff that they're dragging. So that's the time. It's like it's kind of like the difference between like your wedding reception giving you the next day to clean up or expecting you to have it cleaned up when you leave. It's like, so we're in the experience of where they've given them the day. You take your time, clean it up at your own leisure. So that is where that's where we're at. And it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like at this point, you're sitting there, you've been cleaning up and cleaning up, it's going to keep being messes. It just doesn't end. But now all these other people are cleaning up theirs, but it's like they're not productive or something. It's like, you could do this, but way more productive. You could do, but you can't. You can't tell people. You can't help them along. You can't assist. You can't, it's not, and then you got to relieve yourself because it's not up to you. It's like, okay, well, it's not up to me, but God, the world is going to be a better place when it's not so toxic and so fake and phony and, yeah, I don't know, people being led by their impulses. And then being angry if you mention it. And then, I don't know. So, yeah, some of us have lessons of learning how to just let it go. Let people just be who they're going to be. It's like, whatever. And I think it seems easier, too. Like, I mean, there's a part of me that's just like, I'll just go back into isolation. Where can I go in and just crawl back into my hole? Gonna find another little cabin in the woods, go with there, let this all play out or something. I'll be the weirdo witchy lady that lives in the forest, does weird shit all the time. I don't care. It's like, I used to. I used to care. I used to care, like, um, and what, I wouldn't change myself. That doesn't even seem like possible. Like, that kind of tripped me out when there was so much of this whole thing about people being a bunch of different people. And I'm sure, some people would look at me and go, well, you were different people too. You acted different if you were with that person than you were with that person, but I couldn't see that. I felt like I was just my regular old self with whoever. Was it either accepted or not accepted? But I don't feel like I've ever been able to figure out how to be somebody different. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel natural. I can only go with, being my regular self. I don't, and that is, and that irritates, like, my mom. It's like, you don't know how to hide your emotion. You just put it out there and stuff. It's like, well, yeah, why would I need to? Like, why do I, I'm having a bad day and somebody comes up to me in the store and is like, hi, how are you? And I'm like, oh, hi, just great. How are you? It's like, I'm not that. No. Be like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just like, I've got no, I mean, I can't. I'm not somebody who's going to pretend, and that irritates people, and I didn't understand it for a long time. Boy, I can't even tell you how, there's like a lot of people who I could just piss off. So funny too. It's the most stupid ass shit to me can piss people the fuck off. One of the things, who was it? I've had more than one person chew me out about this. So many people. This is just, it irritates people. It's weird. So you may know somebody who does this, but like, they'll call you and you answer the phone, hello, and they just go, oh, were you thinking about, like, if you had put that, just go right into a conversation. You just, you don't go into the greetings. Well, hello, how are you today? Well, I was just, I'm just not that. Somebody answers and I'm just like, oh, I forgot to tell you, I just go right into it. And so different reactions. Some people, oh, well, nice to talk to you too. Well, good morning to you too. Well, hello to you too. A lot of that shit. A lot of like, oh, you just go right into it, don't it? It's like, did you need preparation for wasn't the answer in the phone kind of your preparation? When I answer the phone, somebody's here to talk to me. I feel like I'm not wasting your time, not wasting my time. It seems like a lot more efficient. Like, I don't get it. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, that's something like, oh, people cannot stand. It's like, how much greetings and preparation do you need to go into this conversation? Let's just start it out. It's like, that is something. But anyways, there was, but anyways, I can't, I'm not good at being a fake or a phony of being different than I am. And yeah, you get told a lot of times you're weird and shit. But it's like, well, I'm just gonna be weird then. I'm somebody who's weird to you. I don't care really. Like, with the but how it was that people just like tried to morph or transform themselves into pleasing other people. I think that there's a natural thing, like with your parents or something. With mine was my kids. Mine was my family. Having certain people of like, well, I want to please them. I don't want to argue with them or whatever, which would hold me back, which would interfere with boundaries and stuff like that. That's why a part of my whole thing has been about boundaries. And, but anyways, there's people who just got to go and look at themselves and find themselves and, all the characters that they created to try and get people to like them. And so that is, each person has their own journey in that. But there was something else I was going to say about that. I can't remember. But there is just this generalized phoniness, though, in our society, which people are happy with. There's so many people who are happy with division and stuff. This is really kind of gets me. And this is where I'll finish up, too. So let's look at my hair too. Um, my nails are barely. I've been doing I'm sticking with the biotin. That stuff is like, if it's not making my nail, it definitely is working on making my face hair grow. I swear to God, I'm growing a goddamn beard. And then I gotta just find myself into the thing of like, okay, we're animals. What, I mean, we're animals. Animals have hair on their face. It's like, why would we need to go in and strip our face? Why do they get us to hate ourselves so much that we can't accept ourselves? It's like there's such a part of the journey of just like, okay, just accept ourselves. There's some like long hair now, like God pull those, but anyways, it's just like I know that it drives, laser treatments. There's a lot of shit, a lot of products and stuff, and a lot of things, and they all have a dark side to them. The lightest side is to just learn to accept yourself. So, because women, they got all into this razoring, and that creates stubble, and the hair removing creams, all of this stuff. There's a toxic side to it. And that's what I'm saying. The most beneficial thing for us to do is to learn to accept ourselves. And so, anyways, the thing oh yeah, my tooth. Oh my God, my teeth were hurting so bad last night. Oh my God. I was like, God, I was, fuck. It's gotta, if it's the energy, I don't know. Because it doesn't normally hurt so much, but oh my God, it was hurting so much last night. It's like, fuck, I'm gonna just yank this shit out of here. So, anyways, this is not all, perfect. Oh, it's easy street. No, it's sensitive. It has pain sometimes. It's a pain in the ass. Best thing to do is be healthy. But that's what they're trying to interfere with, is our goddamn health. And so, keeping us in this lower vibration form, mat, whatever, is what keeps us sick. And they feed off of that. They feed off our sickness. That's fucking bullshit, man. But we got to raise ourselves up out of it. And so, anyways, this is just, I don't know, it's just irked me. And then I said something about it on TikTok, and there's so many people that are just so on board with it. And so sometimes I go upstairs and I hear some of the shit that these people are saying on the news or the podcast or whatever the fuck. I'm just like, what the fuck? And so this was Congress has met. They are going all in on this fucking wall, man. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're gonna fucking put 100 million billion zillion dollars into it. We're gonna put cameras up. We're going to keep these fuckers out of our country with this motherfucking wall. I'm just like, oh, what in the fuck? So they get us convinced out of fear and shit that we need this. Then we're going to dedicate all this money to it. Have we learned nothing from this laundry system? Are you fucking kidding me? And all this fucking bullshit with the fucking fear and keeping us contained. Convince us why we need to be contained. Oh, well, we're going to be on this side of the wall. That's their side. We're not going on that side of the wall. We're staying on this side of the wall. It's like, well, I want to go back and forth. I want to go where the fuck I want to go. And I don't give a fuck what you guys say. I mean, this is absurd. I heard somebody the other day explaining why we need the real license. This license was good enough. But then, well, no, now you need a passport. Well, no, now you need a real license. Now you need these. Where's your pay? Well, pretty soon, where's your scan? We need to scan you. No, go home. You don't get to go. You were a bad person today. You ate too many chips. Get out of here. Well, we don't even get chips anymore, so you eat too many crickets. Get the fuck out of here. So it's so absurd. It's so fucking absurd. And then the people just buy onto it. It's like, yeah, give us a wall. I'll give you the money. Put me a wall up. Saying, keep me safe, please. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Jesus fucking Christ. And you're convinced that these people, all these people of that color, well, they're out to get me. All the people of this religion, well, they're out to get me. Okay. Yep, I guess we need a wall. Somebody give me some borders. Let me cage myself in, because I don't want anybody to get to me. It's like, and then plus my view of things, if whatever is going to happen to you is going to happen to you. Then fucking come in the cage. If you're meant to get slaughtered by somebody, and it can be anything about your lessons. Maybe it's going to be someone from another country. Maybe it's going to be somebody that looks just like you. It just depends on what you're here to learn, what you're here to overcome, what you're here to experience, and what you're a part of, what your soul group is doing, what the part y'all are playing out. And so the illusion of that we need to be caged and protected is absurd. It's like, that's your lesson. You were getting slaughtered by them. I'm not. Why do I need to stay in the cage? Maybe I need to get slaughtered outside the cage. And don't forget, your slaughtering is your way out. It's not the fucking end of the fucking world. It's the, I'm out. Bye. I finished. See y'all. It's like, what? There's so much stuff that is just like, oh, that's what I mean. It's like I fucking feel like I'm going crazy at this point. It's like, oh. And then I said something, because you think like, well, I can't be the only one. There's got to be other people who can see it from this perspective. No. Comments are like, well, leave then. Well, go live in another country. Go do it. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. You can't see what they're doing to you. You can't see you're being programmed into your safety zone. They're the ones in control of it. And you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay out the ass for it. And then what do they do with the money? Stick it in their trunk. Go buy a fucking jet. Go fucking go on a trip. Like, it's absurd. It's so fucking absurd. And it's just aggravating. And to me, like I've been saying for however long, I'm not just an American female, white girl, whatever the fuck all. I'm just a fucking earthling. I don't see myself as being different than all these people. I don't care if my height's different, my weight's different, my skin color is different, my hair color is different, my eye color is different, the size of my booty, the size of my lips are different, the size of my hair, none of it. None of it to me is anything other than how you see some animals and they all look a little different. It's like, that's it. We all just look a little different. Doesn't make a fuck about any of that shit. We're just one species, and that's all I can see it. And I'm not even going to be about human anymore, because now there's way too much coming out of this lab fucking world about the clones. We're not all fucking just human. There's hybrids. There's a whole lot of shit going on here. That's why, to me, I'm an earthling. I'm from the earth. This is where I grew up, was on this earth. This is where Kelly Hart was rendered on earth. She's an earthling. And she's here for a more broader experience than a lot of people. Like, you go in your cage, let them hold the keys. I'm fucking out. I want to fly. Open my fucking cage up and let me fly. Like, I'm going to go out to experience. I have a window of time here, and I want to fill it up with fucking shit I want to do, not with the fucking bullshit. So, anyways, that's my fucking rant about it, and I don't see how people can't see it, and how these people stand up there with their smile, like, oh, we're doing you such a favor. We're gonna do it for you guys. We're gonna put the million, hundred, trillion, billion. I could see the point of when they were starting it, because everything is this awakening. Everything is to get you to pay attention. They had to draw attention to the criminal activity that was going on at our open borders. So they had to make it a big thing. Well, we gotta close these borders. Well, they just go right underneath. Go right over the top. This is like, I've got an airplane, I got a helicopter. They fucking probably leap. Got a little bouncer machine. I got a trampoline. I'm good over there. And some of them, they just throw the kids over. Oh, that one got hurt, broke his neck. Oh, well, here's another. It's like, it's fucking absurd, like, all this shit. And then to think, like, the people who have been involved in this shit, they're gonna help us out. They're gonna fix it up real nice for us. I just can't even. I swear to God, my mind is just so, like, it's trashed at this point. It's just like it's so bent up. It's tinfoil crushed. It's like, oh, just, that's what I mean. It's like, I feel like Job falling on my knees. Oh, Lord, oh, Lord. Oh, how long can this go? How long can this go on? Like, oh my God. And I just, like, I fucking can't wait. I used to think, man, these people are going to be so sad. They're going to feel so bad. They're going to have a hard time looking at themselves. Now I'm like, fucking bring this shit on, man. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. Just look at yourself a little longer. You'll figure it out. It's like, I don't give a fuck. It's just like, yeah, you got yourself in this mess now. Yeah, go look at it from another perspective. Like, that's what's coming. And so, yeah, now I'm just like, yeah, everybody get a good hard look. I don't feel the same thing of like, it's gonna be so hard, poor them. Now it's like, well, yeah, good. It's about time, man. It's about time you fucking see the truth. Like, fuck, man. So, anyways, now let's see if there was anything else I wanted to spew out this morning. You release this energy. I'm gonna go out and do a little shopping, come back, and now it's like tomorrow is gonna be a week. So 8 days. It's like coming in faster and faster. It's like going on an airplane, just going and driving in Dallas traffic, and they've got tornadoes going. It's just like the whole thing. Just the whole thing. I just want a little safe place. Let the whole world fall down around me. That's okay. It's okay. It's everybody's own experience. Just give me my little safe space where I can just be in there. And that $1 million mansion or whatever on the lake, I think that maybe some people moved into it already. It never even showed as sold, which to me, I was like, how are they doing these deals? Like, is this somebody who had like $1 million in cash or $2 million in cash, just went in and threw it down and was like, okay, I don't need the banks? Because the banks are in a bad way. Our whole economy's in, like, this is, I don't know. I don't know. And then they pulled in this big boat. This was something I was like, man, what do you do about that? Oh, okay. Yeah. So, because it's weird, because they have this big ass boat in the front now that's in the driveway. And they've got these boat things that you put your boat on, and then lift it up out of the water and just hold it up there. And then when you want to go in the water, it just lowers in the water and you zip off. And so in my mind, I was just like, well, how would they get back there now? Now their houses are practically touching. And but then it was just shown to me. I was like, oh, they just got to go down. They got to go to the dock somewhere. They got to go find a dock to get into the lake. I'm not sure where all the docks are, because all the people who own the lake properties have taken all of the space. So they crowded that shit up. Then they start giving, well, the people who own the secondary lots, you get this lot right here. You guys can all go in here and share this. And then they start putting more rules on that. It's like, it's absurd. It's so much absurd shit. Like, if you don't have lakefront, then you're fucked on the lake. So I don't know where the docks are. So I was like, oh, I think they have to go down to like Tum Tum, go to a whole nother town. And so you'd have to put it in, and then you'd have to drive it up to get into your lake thing. But there could be another dock somewhere around. Oh, well, I guess the one for the secondary lot people. But fuck, man, that's pretty small dock. That boat that they have is pretty huge. But I don't know. I guess it's the same thing as like where a Volkswagen and a 18-wheelers fit in the same lane in the highways. So, which is weird. There's so much weird shit. So much weird shit. It's like, I don't even know. This world is weird, and it's all a fucking illusion, and it's all what we make of it. Like, for some reason, we believe that 18-wheelers and fit in the same lane, so they do. It's like, how? And then even when they're carrying houses, then it's like, well, that's a wide load. It's like, aren't you a wide load on your own? Like, it's weird. It's weird. Like, why would we, I don't know, why would we even have lanes like that? Because I know when I'm driving in the lane, I feel like if I barely move, I'm going to be out of the lane in somebody else's lane. well, this truck is fucking 10 times the size as my car. It's like, what the hell? This world is so fucking weird. It just gets weirder and weirder. That's all there is to it. It just gets weirder and weirder. And now I've got a headache. I keep getting these waves and nausea too, where it's just like, oh, I keep getting these weird waves. All of a sudden, where it just all of a sudden feel faint or something. I don't know. Because that's how I'm feeling right now. Maybe I'm having sugar overload. I'm gonna go drink some more tea. There's Lily. That's Lily barking. She's a one-eyed girl. She got in an altercation, like was playing with another dog and somehow, or something, it could have been a cat. She was playing around and their fingernail just hit in and pulled her eyeball out. So she had to get surgery. And there's a one-eyed Jack, the cat, and there's one-eyed Lily, the dog. So funny. I love the one-eyed Jack. he's a really. She's got some cats that I just really like. One-eyed Jack is one of them, and there's two that live in the bathroom. One of them's Susan, and she's got this tripped out looking face with the weird coloring on her face. It's very artistic, how her face looks. And her name is Susan, and she's got such an attitude. Oh my God, I just love this cat. She cracks me. And Willow's got 6 toes, and she's got an extra pedal or whatever. She's got an extra part of her paw, and she's one. When I was living here before, so on my house where I was married number 4, before I lost that house, it was in this little neighborhood. It was closer to downtown. I really liked it. Before, I used to think like, oh, that's the poor neighborhood. When I started living over there, I was like, fuck yeah, I like this neighborhood. It's close to everything. It's just a zip down this street, you're downtown, zip over here. It's like everything. I was like, fuck yeah, this is cool. And but that was neighborhood was, there's a lot of poverty and stuff, and a lot of wildcats. And so there was, my mom decided to come and cage them, and she was doing the cat clinic, so she was trying to go and cage them and get them and take them to get fixed and stuff. So the couple though that she caught, that she ended up keeping them, and one of them is Willow, who's up in the bathroom. And when she had told me, she's like, oh yeah, remember, this is one of those cats I caught in the cage out by your house. I was like, oh, I didn't remember that at all. And but Willow, oh my God, Willow is just the cutest thing too. And she goes in and she'll get right up in your face, and she'll, and then she wants you to turn the water on. She likes to put her head in the water and play in the water. I don't know. I just like those. And one-eyed Jack, he's always like, he shows up everywhere. He can see good with that one eye. And he came to her with that one eye hanging out. He was a little tiny baby kitten she had to feed with the thing. And he came with his eyeball hanging out. And he had to get surgery because she's all these rescues of all these, like a lot of these cats, she's been feeding them since they were little tiny babies. But anyways, some of them just have the funniest personality. Sheba, the one that had showed up here and now is living here, that one too, she's a character. There's a lot of them that are characters. There's a lot that are just real like, man, I don't like people. They just run from you and keep away from you. But there's some that are very, Figueroa, like that one. He just shows up everywhere, just bitching. He's just always bitching about shit. And then at one point she did realize, like, well, he is, I think he's got a teeth problem and he's not eating, and so he's hungry. So she started just feeding him canned food all the time whenever he starts crying, and then makes him mad. But he follows you around. He just bitches. And then you give him a can of food and then he'll just let go and just keep on. So it's not always the solution, but he will follow you and bitch though all day long. he's cute. He's real skinny and old. And but he's cute. So anyways, that's a breakdown on the pet situation upstairs. We're the downstairs people. We're the garage people. We're the people who live under the stairs. I like it that way. So anyways, just remember, I'm telling you, you can't go wrong focusing on yourself and healing, becoming not, it's weird. It's because you want to become childlike, but you don't want to be childish. So it's finding the balance in between. So you want to tap into this part of yourself, of the excitement, enjoying being yourself and stuff like that. But the childish part is the part that you want to find the balance in. you know, impulsive, angry, defensive, all those things. So, anyways, and this is the time to do the work. You know, I mean, anybody, you can change your life by changing you inside. Changing your attitude changes your life and changes your relationships. It is you who has to change. The nucleus of the situation is you, and you have to work on you. You have to find the time to work on you, and that's what they want to do, is take over your time and keep you distracted so you don't work on you. But I highly advise it. Like, and it changes the world, but the people who don't do it, it's not like they get to go to it. You don't get to go to the new changed world. If you don't be a part of the change, you don't get to go. It's just, that's how I see it. I don't know. It's not going to be a world where there's a few good people holding it together for all the people who want to continue the bullshit. Nah, it's not going to be like that. So, anyways, my advice, of course, is to work on you. Learn to love yourself. Learn to love everybody, no matter what color, no matter what size, no matter anything. Just love everybody. And choosing what you pay attention to and how you put your energy out is going to affect your day. So learning how to have the day you want to have. That's my advice. And I'll talk about it again tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be a little less ranty, a little less bitchy. We'll see. So anyways, talk to you later. Bye.